Hello, come knock nation, na. 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 Hello, come knock.
Welcome to Lesson 10 of the Mountain Mighty language class. Today we'll add to our dialogue about where people are from, where they live, and where they work. Then we'll learn some more about the verb tenses we already use for talking about what is happening right now or recently or what will happen in the future. We have some new question words today. Homondi, homona, and homonan. You can see the postpositions di, na, and nan are added on to the end of the basic word for where, homon. Homondi, where at. This is the most common way of asking where. Repeat, homondi. Homona means where to or where towards, and homonan means where from. In the creation story, Coyote and World Maker are floating along looking for a little piece of land, and they sing, Homondi nuk din korom uka. Where, little land, are you? U, the letter U, is another short verb in Mighty meaning be located. Homondi uka means where are you located? Repeat, homondi uka. Repeat the question, where are you, little land? Homondi nukding korom uka. Now let's use these question words for where in our dialogue, continuing where we left off with Patty and Thomas, who are just learning about each other. Patty says, Min neki maidam, homonan makare. Where are your mother's people from? Repeat, Min neki maidam, homonan makare. Min neki maidam, homonan makare. Thomas says, Nik neki mabekang sumbilnan kakan. What does that mean? It means my mother's father is from Susanville. Repeat, Nik neki mabekam sumbilnan kakan. Notice that when a place name ends in the letter I, like Sumbili, you can cut the I off before you put on the postposition. So instead of saying Sumbilinan, you're saying Sumbilnan. Thomas says, Nik neki manem, widoikanan kakan. My mother's mother is from Janesville. Repeat, Nik neki manem widoikanan kakan. Patty says, Mi homondi pukwono maka. Where were you born? Pukwono means be born. Repeat, pukwono. Birthday is pukwonom eki, the born day. Repeat, where were you born? Homondi pukwono maka. She says, Mi homondi pukwono maka, emphasizing you by saying me, since they've been talking about other people. Now she wants to know about you. Thomas answers, Ni asilodi pukwono kakas. I was born in Quincy. Repeat, Ni asilodi pukwono kakas. He's been talking about other people, so he's emphasizing I by saying ni as. But he could have just said, Kakas silodi pukwono, or silodi pukwono kakas. How would you tell someone where you were born? You're going to say kakas, the place name, di, and pukwono. I would say kakas Glendale di pukwono, or Glendale di pukwono kakas. I was born in Glendale. Then Patty says, Homondi be tawalka. Can you guess what that means? Where do you work now? Be means now. Repeat. Homondi be tawalka. Thomas says, Ko tasti tawalkas. What does that mean? I work in Greenville. Repeat. Ko tasti tawalkas. How would you tell us where you work? I would say, Habodi tawalkas. I work at home. Or maybe, Tawalmen kasbe. I don't work now because I'm retired. Then Patty says, Ko tasti bebam biska. That means, do you also live in Greenville? Repeat, Ko tasti bebam biska. Thomas says, Wie koyom bukuri biskas. No, I live in Crescent Mills. Repeat, Wie koyom bukuri biskas. He-eh. Now, let's go over the dialogue one more time, including last time's dialogue, without my comments and translations. So, repeat after each person says something. Hesasaka, minki yam hesim makare. Niki yam kakan Thomas. Homonim makare minki heskatom. Nick Bacon kakan wolamitem Jakobem Robert. Nick neki yan kakan Mary. Maki heskam yam hesim makare. Maki heskam yam kakan Smith. Unim Mary Smithik mabekam John Smith makare. Wea Nick neki mabekam kakan Richard Smith. Ho minneki manem homonim makare. Nick kotonka kan Jane Johnson. Mi homonik mabekam maka. Niki teki yanka kan Georgium. Nick poki yanka kan Susim. Machoki manem homonim makare. Machoki manem kakan Niki kalem Julium. Min neki mitem homonon makare. Nick neki mabekang sumbilan kakan. Nick neki manem wadoikanan kakan. Mi homonde pukono maka. Nia silodi pukonon kakas. Homondi be tawalka. Kotasti tawalkas. Kotasti bebam biska. Wie koyam bukuri biskas. So please practice this dialogue so you know how to ask and answer questions about names, relatives, where people are from, where they were born, where they live, where they work, all those good things. Try to memorize it, and you can change it up with the names and places for your own family. Now let's review our verb tenses and make sure we know them. What exactly is a verb tense? Verb tense refers to the time frame of when the action happened. So we've learned two verb tenses so far, the simple present past and the future. The present past tense can mean the action happened recently or is still going on. If you say unidi biskas, it can either mean I live here or I lived here. You can add other words like be or beduk now to make it clear you're talking about the present. For equal sign verbs, it's usually about a continuous state, like mun kakan kalem, she's a woman, not just today or last week. In upcoming lessons, we'll learn other verb tenses with different endings, so you could be more specific about the time frame of when something happened. We've been using the simple past present tense for both the equal sign verb kakan and for action verbs. So we've learned the endings for the tense kan, kas, and ankano. For the equal sign verb, we say kakas, kakan, and kaankano. I am kakas, he or she is kakan, they are kakan, and you are kaankano. So, you already know this. Did you notice, though, that we're missing something? We haven't learned how to say we are. The ending for we too did something is ankas. Kaankas means we too are. Repeat, kaankas. The ending for we all, or we more than two, is enkes. We all are is kayankes. Repeat, kayankes. Listen to Dan Williams say, we all are, and repeat after him.
Kayankes.
Listen to Mame Gallagher say, we all are, and repeat after her.
Kayankes.
Just like kan, kas, and ankano, you can add ankas and enkes to any verb. Wea ankas, the two of us spoke. Repeat, wea ankas. Wea enkes, we more than two spoke. Repeat, wea enkes. Notice that the ah sound in ankas is associated with two people, like the end of the word nisa. And notice that the s sound in enkes is associated with more than two, like the end of the word nisa. We more than two. So I hope that helps you remember which is which. Ankas is for two people, we two, and enkes is for more than two. Now, it's typical for grammar books to put things in a chart, like we did for the pronouns. Here's a chart showing these endings. Remember that one is first person. That means I, we two, and we more than two. Two is second person, you. And we know the verb endings for you are all the same, ankano, whether it's one person, two, or more that we're talking to. Three is for a third person. Singular is he, she, or it. Dual is they two, and plural is they all, or they more than two. Again, all the third person verb endings, singular, dual, and plural, are all the same, kan. Here's a chart of the equal sign verb kakan. The ka part is spelled with a fish head for two of them, or at least that's how we learned it. Shipley spelled all of them with a ka, ka, but Dixon spelled the kakas and kakan forms with the fish head, k fish head, like we learned them. Let's go through the chart quickly to make sure we know these, including the two we just learned today. So, kakas, I am. Kaankas, we two are. Kaankes, we more than two are. Kaankano, you are. Kakan, he, she, or it is, or they are. Starting in the next lesson, we're going to be using these forms as helping verbs combined with other verbs, so make sure you have these under your belt. You could put them into a song to remember them, and for sure put them in your flashcards. Back to the chart of endings. Let's go through these one time with an action verb. So for each of these endings, we're going to insert a verb where the dash is in each square. Let's use the verb ano, go, which also means walk or travel. So we see with the kas ending, you're going to say anokas, I went. For duo, the one we just learned today, ano ang kas. We two went. Plural, ano ang kes. We more than two went. Ano ang kano. You went. Ano kan. He or she went. Or they went. Ano kan. You already know most of these. So practice them with all different action verbs. It's important to know these verb endings before we go on to the next lesson. Another verb tense we already know is the future, what will happen. Remember, we added ma right before the verb ending. So a future verb is going to end in ma kas, ma kan, and ma ankano. Unidi bis makan means he, she, or it will live here. That's the future, hasn't happened yet. So, now that you know the angkas and enkes endings, how would you say, we too will live here? Unidi bisma angkas. Repeat. Unidi bisma angkas. How would you say, we, more than two, will live here? Unidi bisma angkes. Repeat. Unidi bisma angkes. Listen to Mame Gallagher say, we too will see. Chema angkas. We too will see. Repeat after her. Listen to Roxy Pakanam say, Don mind kasi. We, more than two, will catch.
Don't mind kasi.
Don, D-O-N, means catch. Don mind kasi means we all will catch, and it implies we will get you. So repeat after her saying, we will get you.
Don't mind kasi.
You know how to say, I will see you, chamakasmin. How would you say, we too will see you? Chamankasmin. How would you say, we, more than two, will see you? Chamankasmin. So, if you are more than two people saying see you to one person, that's how you say it. Repeat. Chamankasmin. And if you are one person saying see you to two people, you would replace the min with something. What? Minche. Chamakas minche. See you to two people. And if you're one person saying see you to a bunch of people, you would say Chamakas minche. Chamakas minche. We've learned to ask questions. Do you, are you, did you, the second person, you, with the ka ending. So we've learned hesasaka, oka, and hesaromaka. We've also learned how to ask questions about somebody else. Are they, did they, is he, is she, and that's the third person with the kare ending. We've learned hesasakare, hesimmakare, homonditoakare. But we're missing something again. There are three questions that we don't use as much, but we still need to know them. And that's the first person. I, we too, and we all. So we haven't learned how to say am I or did I, so let's learn that now. The question ending for I is kares or karesi. We don't have any recordings of this, but we find it a lot in the old Tom Young stories. Coyote gets in a predicament and asks, Hesa makadesi. What should I do? Technically, he's saying, how should I do? But repeat Coyote's question, how should I do it? Or what should I do? Hesa makadesi. Also, we haven't learned how to say are we or did we, so let's cover that now. For two of us, the question ending is kadeas. The glottal stop in kadeas is really a missing H, and sometimes that H is actually pronounced and written. Kadehas. Repeat, kadehas. Or kadeas. We don't have any recordings of this either, but in an old story, two girls are confused about which house they're supposed to move into, and they ask themselves, Unidi bis makadeas? Are we two supposed to stay here? Repeat, Unidi bis makadeas? Here's another example from a Tom Young story. This time, the H is actually pronounced. Coyote asked Rabbit, Watemno makadejas? Shall we two dance along? You recognize watem, dance, and watemno means go along dancing. So repeat the word for shall we two go along dancing? Watemno makadejas? For more than two of us, the question ending is kadees. Again, you could spell it with or without the H. Kadees or kadehes. We don't have any recordings of this either. But if you were going to ask, are we, more than two of us, going to Greenville? You would say, Kotasti onomakadees. Repeat, Kotasti onomakadees. Notice that all the question verb endings have kade in them, except you, which is just ka. Here's a chart showing the question endings, including the ones we just learned. So, am I is going to end in kades. Are we two is going to end in kadeas or kadejas. And are we all is going to end in kadees or kadehes. Are you ends in ka, you already know that. And is he, she, or it ends in kade, as you already know. And are they also ends in kade. You already know those. Let's use the verb ma with each of these endings to practice. Ma is a lot like ka, meaning to be, is, etc. But ma is used in questions. So, makades means am I? Makades. Makadejas, are we two? Makadees, are we more than two? Maka, are you? Makade, is he or is she? Also makade, are they, whether it's two or more than two. Now let's get ready to practice asking and answering questions using these verb endings and our Mountain Mighty place names. Since we're going to be asking about places, let's review a few verbs that talk about coming and going. One of the wonderful things about the Maidu language is that you can change and add meanings to a basic word root by adding one or more infixes. These are little pieces of words that go between the verb stem and the ending. Because they get stuck in there between the root or stem of the verb and the ending, I call them infixes. Let's take another really short Maidu verb, which is nothing but the fish head. You have learned several verbs that start with the fish head, and they all have to do with going. Ano, go or walk, travel along. The no infix, no, means along. So you take that basic verb that's just the fish head that has to do with motion, and then you add no, and it means walk, travel, or go along. Yeah, come or approach. So you add that yeah, ye infix, that means towards, traveling towards or moving towards. So, yeah means come or approach. Akoi, another verb you already know, means go away, leave, or just go, but the koi infix means away from, so it's always motion away from. It's not exactly like the go in English because it's referring to going away. Anoye, walk around. Notice this has two infixes, no and yeah. You can add a bunch of these infixes to change the meaning of a word, one right after the other. Noye means around, so anoye means walk around. Adikno, arrive, get somewhere. Dikno means reach. Adikno, arrive, get somewhere. There are many others of these with that same fish head verb. There's asito, omit, achono, unpin, many more that we'll be learning in the future. And I want you to start being aware of the building blocks that make up words. I like to call these genuine Maidu parts. In intermediate and advanced Maidu, you'll be learning how to make up words on the fly. And you'll also be able to figure out what a word means even if you've never heard it before, just based on all of its parts. For now, try to learn these motion verbs and these infixes that we just went over and put them on your flashcards. If you put them on your flashcards, you can put a dash in front of them to let yourself know that these are not real full words. They're just parts of words. Yeah, koi, no, noye, and digno. Now, let's practice some sentences using these going words. We'll practice asking and answering questions using the verb endings we know, postpositions, and our Mountain Maidu place names. Homona yeka, where did you go? Notice we translate it as go, but it means go towards, approach. Homona yeka. Notice the na postposition showing towards. You're asking, where were you headed towards? Now answer, tosi koyona yekas. I went towards Taylorsville. Repeat, tosi koyona yekas. If you are asking what someone is going to do, add the future ma to the question. Homona yemaka. Where are you going? Which is the same as where will you go? Repeat, homona yemaka. Something you haven't done. You haven't already gone. You're going to go. Now answer, tosi koyona yemakas. I'm going towards Taylorsville. Repeat, tosi koyona yemakas. Na means going towards, but you could say di instead. Tosi koyori yemakas. I'm going to Taylorsville. Not just towards, I'm going to. Not a whole lot of difference, but you can say it either way. Then you could ask yourself, homondi yemakades. Where am I going? Repeat, homondi yemakades. If you have a bad memory, you could ask yourself about something you already did, like, hesarom unimlumdi yekadesi. Why did I come into this room? Lumi is room from English. Repeat, hesarom unimlumdi yekadesi, or yekades. You could get in the car with your friends and ask, homondi onomakadeas. Where are we all going? Repeat, homondi onomakadeas. What would the answer be if we were all going to Susanville? Sumbildi onomaenkes. Repeat, sumbildi onomaenkes. Or you could say, towards Susanville, sumbil na onomaenkes. The verb akoi means leave or go off. You could say, we too are leaving for Susanville. Sumbil na akoi mankas. Repeat, sumbil na akoy maangkas. Homonan akoy ka. Where did you leave from? Homonan, where from? Homonan akoy ka. Where did you leave from? Repeat. Homonan akoy ka. Answer. Tasman koyonan akoy kas. I left from Humbug Valley. Repeat. Tasman koyonan akoy kas. Homondi maka. Where are you? Repeat. Homondi maka. The answer could be Silodi anoyedom. Walking around in Quincy. Repeat. Silodi anoyedom. Kotasti adiknoka. Did you get to Greenville? Or did you arrive at Greenville? Repeat. Kotasti adiknoka. Answer. He'e. Kotasti adiknokaspe. Yes, I got to Greenville just now. Repeat. He'e. Kotasti adiknokaspe. What if you said Kotasti binchem adiknoka? What does that mean? Did you two get to Greenville, two people? Repeat. Kotasti minchem adiknoka. What is the answer saying yes, the two of us got to Greenville just now? How would you say that? He'e kotasti adikno ankaspe. Repeat. He'e kotasti adikno ankaspe. So practice asking each other where you live and work, where someone's from, where they're going, where they're coming from, and practice asking and answering to more than one you, whether it's minchem or minche, and answer with we too and we all with our new verb endings that we just learned today. The last topic for today is reviewing how to say not. You probably remember Yahamenkan. He is not good, or it is not good. Repeat. Yahamenkan. The verb is yaha, be good, and men stuck in between the verb and the kan ending means not. Yes, men is actually an infix. Using the verb akoy for leave, how would you say they did not leave? Akoy menkan, or maisem akoy menkan. Repeat. Maisem akoy menkan. They didn't leave. How would you say, you didn't come to my house? Niki habodi yemen ankano. Repeat. Niki habodi yemen ankano. Sikala means bother. Don't bother me is nik sikalamen. Repeat. Nik sikalamen. This is a command, so it doesn't have a verb ending. So men goes right at the end. Do means bite. Nik domen means don't bite me. Repeat. Nik domen. Again, it's a command telling somebody what to do. Don means catch. Notice do means bite. Don means catch. Nik don menkan means they didn't catch me, or he or she didn't catch me. Repeat. Nik don menkan. You can combine the negative not with the future by putting men right in front of ma. Listen to Roxy Baconum say, I will not fail in anything. Hesti ma'at means in anything, or in any way. Weo means fail. Repeat after her. I will not fail in anything.
Estimat wiyomen makasi.
Notice that she says men, meaning not, right before the ma, future, and then she says the end of the verb. Listen and repeat again. I will not fail in anything.
Estimat Wiomen Makasi.
Listen to Roxy Bacanum tell the snake not to look around at humans at the bear dance.
Puskum Maidum Wonom Maidu Chehe no Men Mang Kano.
There are two subjects of this sentence. Do you know what they are? You, we know that from the onkano ending, and Huskamaidum, snake man. They are one and the same because she's talking to Snake Man, so they're both the subject. So humans, Wonamaida, has no M on the end of Maida, so it's the object of the sentence, not the one looking around. She's not talking to the human, she's talking to Snake Man, telling him not to look at humans. Humans are the ones not doing the action. Cheheheno means go along looking at. See that no infix in there? That means going along doing. Men means not. Maankano means you will do. Put them all together and you will not go along looking at.
Puskum Maidum Wonom Maidu Chehe no Men Mang Kano.
Remember the verb we learned a few minutes ago, sikala? Do you remember what it means? Bother. Here are a couple of examples from old Tom Young's stories where men and ma are combined, negative and future. Mummaida sikala men maankano. Repeat. Mummaida sikala men maankano. You will not bother that man. Repeat one more time. Mummaida sikala men maankano. In another story, Coyote says, sikala ben makas, men, I won't bother you. Repeat, sikala men makas, men. So practice adding men, not, and future ma to verbs. In your class, in your family, wherever you're practicing, and practice saying things like akoy makas, I will leave, and then say akoy men makas, I won't leave. Next time we'll learn about using the equal sign verb like kakan and kakas as helping verbs, so make sure you know the endings. Kanemaikade, chamakas men, yahat bispada.